Hello everybody, welcome to another deck profile here for the channel. Today we are going to be covering my main for the Justice Hunter format. We're going to be doing a Dracotail deck profile for you guys today. This is kind of my first draft of the deck. As I mentioned, this is going to be kind of the main going into Justice Hunter. I'm having a lot of fun with the deck. Justice Hunter format in general has been really fun, as I think a lot of players agree. But Dracotail as a deck, I've been having a ton of fun with. The deck is still far from solved. So interested to see kind of how innovation occurs with different builds as we kind of get further into the format, especially with support coming in Doom of Dimensions. But yeah, so we'll take you through the deck profile. There is one card from the list that I am missing. I'll make reference to that when we get to it. It's in the extra. But first off, 3 copies of Dracotail Femina, the bread and butter of the deck, obviously. Being able to fuse on your opponent's turn is just invaluable in this deck. She is kind of the heartbeat of the deck, so need to play this at 3. Next up, we've got triple Lucius, however you pronounce it. Stratos fixes your hands, baits out interaction really well. People love to hand trap this. It is your best normal summon in this version, at least. I'll make reference to some other texts that I'm currently testing, but have not, solidified yet. But really good normal summon, gets you into your missing Dracotail names, which is really good. Triple Malulu. Seen lists drop this to different ratios. In my opinion, I agree with the likes of like Jesse Cotton and Joshua Schmidt. You need to be able to fuse in this deck. You need to maximize your opportunities to fuse, and you need to maximize the ways in which you can fuse. And so because of that, we need to run 3 Malulu. It's just another way to get your fusions rolling. And plus, its effect when used as material is actually also very, very good. Non-targeting monster effect negation is super strong. Yeah. This part of the deck I feel like is up for debate. I'm running 2 Urgula, 2 Pan. I've seen different ratios of this played. I've seen 2 Urgula, 1 Pan. I've seen 3 Pan, 1 Urgula. I've seen 3 Urgula, 1 Pan. I'm testing 2 and 2 right now. I like 2 and 2. The issue with the deck currently is that there just aren't enough names because we haven't gotten the support out of Doom of Dimensions yet. So there are a lot of hands where you don't open a Dracotail name. And so we run 2 and 2 here because I want to maximize my chances of opening up a Dracotail name. 3 and 3 I think is just far too bricky. If I were to put one of these at 3, I would drop the other to 1. But right now, I've actually kind of been liking the 2 and 2. So this ratio will change probably once we get the support. But currently, this is just what I'm testing. That's it for the monster names. As for the spells, we're running triple K2. Drawing these can sometimes honestly not be that good. You really want to be getting these off of your monster effects. So drawing them is whatever. The issue currently is we don't have enough starters, in my opinion, to justify playing less than this. While it does kind of suck to draw this, because drawing multiples of your spells just makes your fusions feel a little worse, you need to play it. If we were to not play this at 3, I think you would really run into some consistency issues with the deck. The same principle applies as to why we are running triple Rahu. It's our branded fusion. It's not as good as branded fusion, but it's still a very, very, very strong card. But again, like K2, I would rather search this than hard draw it, but we just don't have enough starters to risk not running this. And then finally, the one horn and the one flame. Self-explanatory, you don't want to run multiples of these. When the new trap comes out, we'll most likely be running a single copy of that as well. These cards are just crazy strong, by the way. So I think on the surface, when I first was learning about Dracotail, these traps seemed very mid. These are crazy. I mean, the two strongest interaction points in the deck, and they recur so good. The only weakness of these is that they can be ashed, which I guess if you're going up against Dracotail, you should know that yes, you can ash these because they both have the effect to recycle something and draw. So that's it for the Dracotail package. We're kind of running as many names as we can. Aside from the 3 Pan and 3 Argilla, we're running max number of everything. Again, those are associable chains once we get support, but for now, I think that is... I don't think there's a lot of argument with these ratios. We are running the King of the Swamp package. I don't know how I feel about this package yet. In theory, King of the Swamp is really good for a couple reasons. One, it gets us to another way to fuse. As I mentioned earlier, we need additional ways to fuse outside of the Dracotail engine. And Poly is just a way to do that. And obviously King of the Swamp can get us to this Poly. King of the Swamp also lets us go into some cool extra deck options. Obviously Dragoon being the main one. I don't know if I like it. I like it in theory. The issue is sometimes not opening up King of the Swamp and not having a way to search it. Just kind of makes it feel bad that we're running an extra deck space for what feels like a niche application card, but I like it so far just because there are a lot of times in this deck where Lucius gets impermed, and then Rahu gets ashed, and this is the last thing that you have, or King of the Swamp to search this, and then you hard poly into your Arthalion just to get your plays going, and that's enough, to get the ball rolling. So that extra way to fuse, I just think is really important. So currently, I'm sticking with it. That's it for the sub packages. There are things that I'm currently testing, like Cartesia. A lot of people play. I'm testing it right now. If I do play it, I might play it at 1. I don't know if I like it at 2, but we'll see. There's also the Shadal package. Again, I'm testing things. This is just kind of where the list is at right now. The rest of the deck is all non-engine, so we'll kind of go through that quickly. We've got triple Ash Blossom. I'll do it this way. Triple Nibiru. Triple Fuelos. Triple Effect Veiler. And 2 Ghost Ogres. This is the lineup for the hand traps. As you can tell, we are running kind of the hand trap heavy build. I like all of these. Ash is probably one of the weakest hand traps this format, but it just, stopping a Charmy is just so strong. It does hit certain things, especially like in the mirror, hitting Rahu. It's just really good. Nibiru is really good against pretty much all the other big decks aside from Dracotail currently. Nibiru isn't a single card turn ender like it has been in other formats. It definitely needs to be paired with stuff, but it still can be a devastating hand trap when timed correctly. Fua, I just think is the best Charmy right now. It's also the only Charmy that I can afford, so that's why we're running 3 of that. Veiler, I think, is really slept on this format, and also because this isn't a once per turn, the ability to recycle these with Arthalion and use them multiple times in a single turn is really strong. And then I picked Ogre as the kind of like floating name. You can really do whatever you want here. If you prefer Ghost Bell, that's fine. You know, if you prefer Mourner, I don't think Mourner is that good this format, but if you wanted to, you could. If you wanted to main deck like 2 Phantasme, if you wanted to main deck even non-hand trap stuff, if you wanted to main deck Fenrir's, which we'll get to later, can be anything. I chose Ogre because I think it just hits a lot of random stuff, and I just think it's a good hand trap. Just like hitting the Azuna, or rather, I'm sorry, hitting the Lupus, rather. It's just really good. I don't know. I like it. The last card that we are running is the Single Magna. Don't know how I feel about this card yet. I like it a lot in theory. Just the ability to search any dragon, you know, whether that's Malulu or one of the big ones, to make your hands more live, or your fusions more impactful, I should say. So testing it. It's also pretty decent in the Yummy matchup. It's hard to, you know, you have to be smart about when you do it against Yummy, but I think it's a pretty good card. That's it for the main. Clean 40. Again, testing certain things. Shadal's maybe in the future. Cartesia's maybe in the future. We will have to see. For the extra deck, we are running triple Arthalion. You need to run this at 3. It is the Dracotail fusion. You need to go into this in order to kind of get your plays going. 99.99% of the time, this is going to be your first fusion summon every turn because you need to recur that hand. I wouldn't play it at anything less than 3. Double Gulamel. This one, there could be an argument to dropping it to 1. I like it at 2, personally. That's really where I feel like sometimes when it's at 1, it can be dealt with, and I'm sad that I don't have it, even though it can recur itself. I think having 2 is just really good. Next up, we've got Dragoon. Again, we're running King of the Swamp. Might as well run it. Dragoon is just really strong. Yeah, not much to say. The conundrum that I'm running into is I don't know if it's worth running King of the Swamp just to be able to go into this, because a lot of times when I go into Dragoon, I'm already in a winning position and it feels like a win more card. So I don't know. I like the idea of it, so I'm keeping it in here for now, but might change in the future. Mysterian, just a generically really strong card. This is supposed to be a Secretarian. I don't have one. I haven't gotten one yet, but this should be Secretarian. Right now, it's just a Blue Eyes Tyrant for board wiping purposes, but this really, really, really should be a Secretarian Dragon. Philia Regis, just a generically good card. This helps provide some graveyard disruption, which the deck doesn't have really any other source of. So decent. And then I'm testing a Chimera. We're running the King of the Swamp and the Poly, and so whenever I run Poly in a deck, I feel like I just need to add Chimera out of necessity. I don't go to it often, but it's good enough in my opinion to run currently. This could be other things though. You know, if we end up ever going into Shadal cards, this could easily be your window. There are some link options that you can run over, you know, what we have. So, kind of personal preference, but I personally like the Chimera. We are running the one Typhon. It's a grind-based deck, so it makes sense, and Typhon is still just really good in this format. Then for the links, Spirit Eyes of Blue, this is just to turn Lucius or any of your. It's just meant to turn Lucius into a dragon so that we can go into Seals. Hieratic Seals is just a really strong card. Ditching it to go into Malulu on your opponent's turn is super strong. And then we've got Cross Sheep. You can do some really cool stuff with Cross Sheep, like The most common one, I guess, is like, okay, you nib your opponent turn 1, you've just got a nib token, and you opened up like all non-engine. You don't have you can't really, you know, or I shouldn't say turn 1. Let's say we're a few turns in, we've got an Arthalion in grave. You nib your opponent, whatever. You normal summon one of your hand traps, link 2 into Cross Sheep because 2 cards were sent. Arthalion can special summon itself back into one of its zones, and then you can grab something from the grave, usually your Lucaeus, and then you can start popping off. So just a decently good card, a good OTK potential. And then SP, because it's SP, and you just run SP because you have to. That is it for the extra deck. For the side, my side is tailored towards my locals, so I'm not saying that this is the best side, I just think that this is the most generically good cards to be running this format. So, first, Triple Lancia. Malice is still very much a thing. You have to run it Silver Bullet. I'm going to keep running this while Malice is relevant. It also randomly hits a lot of other stuff, so I think that's pretty good. Triple Fenrir. One of the best cards in the format, in my opinion. One of the most slept-on cards in the format, in my opinion. Fenriring like the Izuna, or the Lupus, or Fenriring the Yummy Field spell. Super strong, just really good. And special summoning it to search another copy of itself helps keep your hand big, which is you know, something this deck really cares about. The only thing it kind of conflicts with is obviously the Phymena, but I think this card is crazy good. Typically, if I'm siding out my Fuas because I'm going first, this is almost 99% of the time this is when I'm siding in over the Fuas. Triple Droll. At least where I'm playing, Mitsu Raizo is still like a super popular deck, and so I think you need to be running this. It's not good enough to main anymore, but should definitely still be siding it. The last Ghost Ogre, for the matchups where it's really good, Triple Ghost Bell is something I'm testing. This hits a lot of stuff. Again, like against the K9 stuff, this is pretty good. But there are just a lot of decks that are going into grave this format, so I just think it's a generically good option currently. And I don't have Perulias, so we're gonna run that instead. And then I'm testing this. I don't like it, but I don't know what to replace it with yet. Probably this will probably turn into Phantasme. Currently I'm rocking 2 Lava Golem just for board breaking stuff. And then the idea is board break, Arthalion effect to bring it back to your own hand, and then board break again. So I like it in theory. It hasn't come up a ton, so we'll see. But probably should just be Phantasme. Alrighty, well, that is the deck profile for you guys. As I mentioned, I'm having a ton of fun with this deck currently. I just think it is really strong, and I think it's a really fun deck to play. It's honestly one of the it's some of the most fun I've had playing TCG in a long time, and I think this deck is a big reason why. So this will probably be the first of many variations of this deck as we get further on into the format. Again, this will be my main, so I plan on making small changes to the deck as we go. And if you guys are ever interested in discussing kind of the different techs maybe you use in your build, I'd be happy to talk about those in the comments with you guys. But yeah, let me know if you guys enjoyed, and as always, peace.